All right, if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Friday, and now to our main conversation for today. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu and 19 northern governors and service chiefs met in his office behind closed doors on Thursday to review the security situation and possibly profile solution. The meeting, which lasted more than 4 hours, started at about 1:30 p.m. and ended at about 6 p.m. Terrorists had on March 7 abducted 287 students from the LEA Primary and Junior Secondary School, Kuriga, in Chukum local government area of Kaduna State. Also, hundreds of internally displaced persons, IDPs, in Gamboro, Ngala, in Borno were also abducted by terrorists, while 15 students were also abducted in Sokoto State. Another 61 persons were also kidnapped in Kaduna on Wednesday. Chairman, Northern Governors Forum, Governor Inua Yahaya of Gombe State said the meeting was convened to discuss and review strategies towards tackling cases of insecurity in the region. He said non-kinetic and kinetic approaches are needed to address the remote cause of insecurity. He said the security agencies had done their best, but there was a need for a non-kinetic approach to address the root cause of the problem. Still with me in the studios to discuss this very sensitive matter is Dr. Evans Ufeli. Thank you so very much for staying around.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
All right, so let's get into the meaty part of the discussion now. Now, there are lots of terminology that was made known there, kinetic, non-kinetic. Please, can you help us make sense of that?
Yes, kinetic is the strategy of force to overpower and dismantle the enemy. Non-kinetic is what we call soft power, where you are using strategy to, get them without violence. Okay, fire for fire is the order. You see, because now they are talking about the root cause of this. I see this meeting as very reactionary. It has some of the preponderance to assuage the psychology of the public as to that these people are serious in what they are saying. The real cause of this is poverty. People are disempowered. People are not empowered. You see, if you empower people, they have a way of not getting themselves in places where they can be easily taken away. If people are really empowered, they will use their resources to create security for themselves, such that before the enemy is able to take them away, you will have resistance. People are not empowered. Look at the 19 governors, helpless, following the NSA sheepishly, looking for a solution. The problem was created by the governors.
How? Please
yes,
explain.
They created it when they could not harness the resources of the state to empower the citizens. Yes, that's how they created it. If you go to some countries, the citizens are so empowered to the point where those who are supposed to be the kidnappers over there are really so empowered and busy that they cannot contemplate going to kidnap any other person. You understand? In these northern states, what's the population of the average state in the north? Compare it to the resources, security vote and other resources that the governor received with allocation. And they are still unable to empower the villages, empower their communities, empower the human person in those axes. You see, those who will accept to go and work for the main criminals, they accept it on terms. It's money.
True.
You understand, on terms. If these persons who are carrying these children across the bush, going to Adikan to kidnap, and if all those people we are talking about are empowered, would they do that? They won't do that. There will be no need for it. So, you see, the root cause is long deprivation. People have been deprived of what ordinarily belongs to them in terms of the commonwealth of this country. So, they have chosen crime as a way of compensating themselves for being left out. This is not to say that I'm encouraging what they are doing. This is not saying I'm encouraging what they are doing. What I'm saying that what they are doing is wrong, it is condemnable, it's criminal, and they should be dealt with. But I'm talking to the governor now, the governors now, and the NSA, that you see the solution to the problem is not what they have gone there to discuss.
Now,
I'm very sure. Kinetic, non-kinetic, that's not the solution. That's a reactionary, immediate, what you think look like solution. But it's not the solution.
Now, I think it's very important as part of our discussion today. Let's not go superficial with it. During our newspaper discussion, you did mention that it's a value chain, right? Where there are people up there in the hierarchy who demand that people do the dirty jobs, which are the people we just mentioned now. So are you saying that some of these governors are truly oblivious of those at the top of the food chain who direct some of these things happening?
They may not be totally oblivious because the governor gets a lot of security briefings, a lot. What the governors know will shock you.
So what happens? Why are they now running helter-skelter?
Yeah, they are running helter-skelter because they have been unable to manage the situation even when they know the source of the problem. They have been able to survive it or to get the right security strategy to quench whatever the problem is within them. You understand? So criminality will fester anywhere people are deprived of what originally belongs to them. It will fester. So while they are looking at a short-term solution, I am talking about a long-term solution. A long-term solution where a governor of a state can turn the state to a construction site and employ people. Where a governor of a state can develop a program on agriculture, get people involved and pay them handsomely. I'm looking about the situation where a governor will create sports festivals, create businesses, get people involved, give people loan, let them start a good life. So you see, when people are empowered, it's difficult to kidnap them. It will be difficult because they will use the resources they have to build their houses in such a way that you are not able to break through. Build their communities in such a way that you are not able to break through. Then those who are supposed to be the criminals also, if they too are empowered, their focus will be on something else and not to go look for how they can form a cartel to go kidnap people and then to ask federal government for a ransom of 1 billion. You understand? So our problem in Nigeria is lack of empowerment. Even in some offices where people work, you see the same motive of a country of economic injustice. Economic injustice because people are not well remunerated, people are not well placed, people are not empowered. So if you cannot see the problem of society cannot be abated without providing for the people or giving them the right environment for which they can get empowered. That is what it is. So this one that they are doing a 4 hours meeting to discuss kinetic and non-kinetic is just for the optics. At least to let society know that our governors attended that meeting. They went for the meeting and they were, you understand? We've seen these attacks repeatedly in Jos, and the community is telling you how when there's a distress call, the security forces don't respond and all that. So,
all right. So while we look at this, especially with regards to what you said about empowerment, let's equally dig deep into this with respect to culture and religion. There is a very clear-cut dichotomy between the north and the southern part of Nigeria. And if you take a look at the northern part of Nigeria, it's been regimented or created or emboldened with a culture and a tradition. And the culture and tradition is so much so that one particular person can say something and everybody goes with what they say. Now, how do you think this is affecting the issue of empowerment, that non-independent spirit of the Northerner, do you think that in any way could be a contributory effect to the reason why there's no need for individuals to seek for empowerment so they can better themselves and better their families so as to avert issues?
No. You
Like
yeah, people, even in the north, you have people who have independent businesses. Yes. The fact that they seem to lean towards their leaders by virtue of religion does not mean that they cannot be empowered to have good lives. You understand? Yes. No one will reject empowerment. You understand? But if you leave it bare like that, to say, okay, every time they are hungry, they should come and meet their leader to give them food. Anytime they are hungry, they should come and meet them and give them food. That is what breeds the real contempt. Because those who are not dissatisfied with that are the ones in the bush. You understand? Are the criminals now that are wrangling and using all methods possible to get others kidnapped or to kill others or to put them under captivity and make a demand for financial gain, for ransom. You understand? So it is superficial to say that because many of them are, their focus is on their leader, whatever their leaders say, they can rally around their leaders. That is a reason the leaders should not have a need to empower them individually. No. I have seen people in the north who have big businesses, you understand, who are individualistic, business-driven, business-minded, who are doing well on their own without even... so if there's a crowd movement as to focus on one person, if that is the reason or the cause for the problem, that should be dismantled, because the world has actually gone beyond that. Once people are not empowered, whether they are loyal to you by religion or by whatever, they will kick against you at some point. That is why, of course, you shouldn't have people kidnapping others if truly they are loyalties to their leaders, because kidnapping others is an embarrassment to their leaders. So it means that it's to weaken the governor, that he has no control over the state. So if truly they are loyal to their leaders, some of them will not be kidnapping the other ones to make their government look inefficient. So it's not a good argument to say that because they are not individualistic, therefore, what is the need to empower them? You need to empower citizens all over the world. Where people are not empowered, they become terrorists, they become kidnappers, they become criminals, they become... A human being have the propensity to become anything evil, anything negative, if he is not catered for. You understand? A human being that you see today that is well-behaved, well-cultured, well-mannered, can, under a different condition, be opposite of that same thing.
Very true.
Yes. So, to avert that, a person become, a dangerous species to society. That is why government say that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary goal of government. So, let the people have a sense of belonging by empowering them. And the best way to even control people is to empower them. Unfortunately, we don't know. Yes, it's the best way to control people is to empower. When you keep people satisfied and calm,
they become loyal to you.
Yes, they have a tendency to want to protect anything you ask them to watch over. They watch over it with effect. And it does not really cost so much to empower people.
Exactly. All right, so lastly, let's crawl back to the main discussion here and maybe take a look at the capacity and the intelligence strength and the influence of Nuhu Ribadu. Do you think this meeting will see any light at the end of the tunnel, going by his capacity? Maybe if you can maybe briefly run us through his antecedents and why you think it's possible that possible results might come out from this meeting?
No,
from
they are,
Nuhu Ribadu?
no, they are getting it wrong already. You know, Rubadu and the 19 governors are getting it wrong already. Yes, if you are having a meeting that borders on security, why should you announce it? So you are telling the enemies that we have gathered now to plan against you. It's not something you should announce. They should have done it discreetly. But because they want the public to feel that they are working, they did it openly and brought journalists to come and interview them after the meeting.
But can
So-
we be
so they
optimistic
are
for a while?
So they are not telling the enemy about the kind of approach they want to use. And they want to use kinetic and they want to use non-kinetic, so that the enemy will clap for them, or how? I don't know what this meeting is just to assuage the public, to make the public feel good that yes, they are doing something. After the meeting, now what have they done since, how many hours after the meeting? The criminals, they are still emboldened, they are still asking for 1 billion. So what has changed now? See, this issue of Ribadu is overrated.
Really?
Yes. It's overrated. And that position they gave him to compensate him for all the movement from one political party to the other that he was not able to break through. This is just to compensate him for some comfort so that I can draw salary for the next 4 years. Ribadu is overrated. What is he doing now? What have they achieved? So this issue about when they talk about Ribadu, everybody will now be shivering and all that. This doesn't apply to me. I don't see what he's doing there that he has, what strategy has he come up with? When the Air Force mistakenly hit Tudumbiri and all that under his watch. What exactly what is the advice now that is, what is he doing? The president that is advising, what's the president doing? The president said they will not pay ransom. Is that exploit? That's what any person will say in order to encourage kidnapping. So I don't see anything that meeting is going to produce. We've had this kind of meeting on several occasions. In fact, under Buhari, the entire nation were calling for the sack of the service chief. They were having all this kind of meeting then. They were having these meetings. Did the kidnapping stop? Did the insurgents stop? So I don't know what I
And
should
the
say.
issue is, when did we not ever pay for ransom? And do you think it's possible that even if the president has given orders for us not to pay ransom, do you think there's ever the possibility of ransom not being paid?
You see what happens most of the time when the federal government said they will not pay ransom. The parents of those children, they will come together and start to cry to the federal government. We've seen it before now. When the federal government is unable to deliver anything, these parents will now go and start contributing money. There was one that happened now. The parents were going to pay individually to have their children released. You remember that?
Exactly.
Is it in Zaria or where?
Yeah.
I think somewhere from a private school. They kidnapped them from a private school. Yes. And when collectively they could not bargain, parents started going individually. You pay, you collect your child. You pay, you collect your child. Under the watch of Buhari's government. He was unaware. You understand? So we pray this one does not get to that stage. But that is what will happen when government refuses to pay and the children are still in captivity. The parents will come together to contribute money. When they finish their meeting and they are unable to break through, the parents will start to go individual to pull their children.
Because, of course, we saw that with...
Anywhere governance has failed, the people will resort to self-help.
Because, of course, we saw that with...
Yes, and the people will down this statement by the president that should not pay ransom. They will look at the president eyeball to eyeball and tell the president, we're going to pay ransom. Come and do what you want to do. It also happened during the train when they kidnapped the Kaduna
train
Abuja attack.
Yeah.
People were going to pay and pick their loved ones. That's what happened. So it means that not only has government failed to the level where they cannot give you light or water, you provide your light, you provide your water. Government has also failed to the point that when your child is in distress, they are not able to address it. They push it to you also to go and pay, pull your child out. So it tells you that you don't really have any government anywhere. You don't have government. And that's exactly what it is.
Truly, this is a very sad situation. Even if we discuss this here it's still very, very sad, because the truth remains that you cannot have a sustainable country without security for lives and properties in that particular country. What we wish and pray for is for a nation where our leaders would really up the game and protect life and properties with what has been given to them by Nigerians. Thank you so very much, Dr. Evans, Philly, for being part of our show
You're
today.
welcome.
It was really indeed an engaging discussion. And for you that have taken your time to watch us, we'd love to say thank you so very much also for being part of our show today. Please do well to visit our website for more information at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry. We will be guys. See you next week for yet another awesome time on Enterprise Friday. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.